a very, very bright morning right from Arua City, that is plot 19A, Weatherhead Park Lane, where our head offices are. I must say the weather is so bright with no signs of rains, and I must say this could also really be a blessing, that is to those who may need the weather, but really to the farmers it may not be a blessing. But all in all, we all have to really appreciate what God is giving to us. If the weather is bright, we have to use it rightly, and if the weather is also really that one that is cloudy and some that is also mixed by signs of rains, we also really have to embrace and appreciate God for that, because this may be one that we may also need, maybe for those who are in agriculture, such as the waters, they could also really be using it for farming. And really that brings us to this edition of, that is the Kokoliriko live show, each and every morning, that is from 7 a.m. up to 9 a.m. every Mondays to Fridays with me, FARISH Majid, and really today, it being a month of women, and remember that is just a few days from now, we shall be celebrating, that is the Women's Day on 8th. And within this day, we're also going to be celebrating women out there, and really this could be your sisters, your girlfriends, your wives, and anybody out there who is a female. And really we have to celebrate females, and that is why we are celebrating the Women's Day. And remember, this week entirely we have dedicated it to women, because really we have analyzed that women are doing so many things, and really that is one reason also really we have to also really support them. And that is one reason as to why, as West Nile Television, this week we have dedicated the entire week to women, as we select them in each and every sector, and really also to come and share with us their experiences. And remember, today, later on in the show, we shall be joined by, that is Josephine Angucia, the Police Public Relations Officer for West Nile Sub-Region, and really she is one person who is actually raising the flag of women very high, really in that docket, which is a bit also very, very technical and instrumental there. But I must say she is really doing something great, and that is one thing also really we have to celebrate her for. And she will be on the show later on. And remember, on Friday also, it being the Women's Day, we look forward also to having the woman member of Parliament for Arua City, as she will be also here to tell us of her experience, and really as a woman what she's doing, that is to change, that is to make changes in shaping the politics of this country and also really the affairs of this country. And that is one reason as to why we shall be having her, that is on Friday. And remember, tomorrow also we shall be having another woman, and she will be a surprise guest. I won't mention her name, but I want her to be a surprise to many of you. But really we hope that these women we have selected are very, very much instrumental, and you will be able to solely pick one at least or two things that is from them. And really now to sort of the discussions with, and remember we are already 20 minutes after 9 a.m. and really allow me welcome you in a special way to the discussion. And really remember, so many things have been going on in the world of current affairs, ranging from the issues of the goats. Really, people are asking themselves, how can a goat be purchased that is at 7.3 million, really, that is for each goat. And remember, Minister of Agriculture did purchase these goats under a project really that was to support some people out there, but really most of the goats that we have purchased from Namibia actually did not live to stand the test of time. Most of them are said to have died. But really, if you are to look at what is happening maybe on the various social media platforms, you realize that people are making fun of this issue, because they're asking themselves, maybe what type of goat can be purchased at 7.3 million really? Because they are saying really this money seems to be very, very much abnormal, even if this is imported breed. But what quality of goat are we talking about here really? Because if you really look at 7.3 million, you realize that this is abnormal money that really many people are not believing in. And really before appearing, that is before the Parliamentary Accounts Committee, these officials from Ministry of Agriculture were actually quizzed to really also make they had to really appear before the committee to really also explain on how much money they really spent on purchasing these goats here. And really that issue has now been an issue of concern, and we had following up on this issue. But really somebody is asking himself out there, maybe how does this goat that is purchased at 7.3 million look like, and what size is this goat, and maybe what quality? And really these goats are said to have also died in the first 2 weeks of their time of being imported. And this has now raised so many questions in the eyes of the public. They are saying now, really, what kind of goat can be purchased at 7.3 million? I think you can reflect and also really make a comparison in your own eyes and look at maybe how much goat can be purchased at that amount. And Public Accounts, that is committee, has tasked the Ministry of Agriculture to explain circumstances under which the 7.3 million were spent on the purchase of each goat, yet the majority of the goats ended up dying within the first week after distribution, with auditors blaming the supplier of intentionally supplying to them sick and emaciated goats to the government, and maybe the procurement people did not also really live to see that these goats that were to be supplied were of high quality. That is why maybe the supplier also took advantage of these things. And really, if you have to look at all these amounts, these are goals that are really supposed to solely uplift people's livelihoods. And this followed the query raised, that is in the December 2023 Auditor General's report, that queried shillings, that is 15 billion goat rollout project implemented in 7 districts, where really the Ministry of Agriculture procured, that is 2,902 local indigenous goats worth 1.56 billion and imported 71 at a cost of shillings 528 million. And we, according to Auditor General John Mwanga, all the 150 distributed goats in Nakasongola district where shillings, that is 52.5 million, had died, whereas in Gomba district, out of the 700 goats distributed, that is totaling to shillings, that is 245 million, 259 goats valued at, that is shillings 90.7 million had died. So I think this is something that we are yet seeing, and really there has been an issue in the public domain. And so many people asking themselves, where were these goats purchased and who actually purchased them, and maybe where did these goats, where were they supplied and where did they die from? These are the questions that people have been asking, and thus indicating that a total of 409 goats out of the 850 distributed in Gomba and Nakasongola worth shillings 143 million had died by the time of audit, that is in September of 2023. So these things are yet, people are yet asking themselves, and really we look forward to having a proper explanation. We do not expect people to tell us these goats died. How did they die? Under what circumstances did they die? Maybe were they not able to sustain, were these the breeds of maybe goats that cannot be able to sustain our weathers? And if you knew that, did we carry out maybe these surveys to see that these goats can really survive in these weathers that we have? And if not, really, why did we go on with purchasing of these goats? So I think those are the questions that somebody should be asking themselves out there. And Stephen Kajura, a project coordinator at the Ministry of Agriculture, defended the cost spent on each goat and was saying the goats were bought from South Africa and really was of higher pedigree. And if they were of higher pedigree, what happened? These are the questions that now somebody out there could be asking themselves. And where were these goats actually maybe supplied, and who received the goats, and what are the receivers of these goats saying? These are questions that really we have to ask ourselves out there, and really if we are to really make an assessment of what is happening, and then definitely that could also lead us to into making have an analysis of what is happening, and then maybe the issues of corruption that we're talking about may be reflected here. But really 7.3 million really per goat is, to me, seems very, very much hiked. So I think this is something that also really you should be asking yourself out there. And that is one reason also people who hold these offices, maybe the procurement officers, also really need to work with diligence, because if they continue without working without diligence, then we are going to be seeing so many of these queries being raised, because really these questions are raised because people feel maybe there are some anomalies that are reflected in this expenditure. So I think these are issues that we are yet following up on, and we shall be able to sort of let you know maybe of what happens next, because if they did not really happen, and then we are also really going to be seeing some of these things happening. And remember, being this week also is where we did see IGP Ochola bowing out as the head of police, where he did actually officially hand over office to his deputy. But really, maybe what will you be able to reflect on, maybe, and if you have to also think of it during the reign of IGP Ochola, is the question also really you should be asking yourself. And remember, he has had his own achievement, because just like the other, maybe the other officials, he also has his own achievements, and these are things that we are yet also going to be letting you know maybe of what exactly he has done, and maybe some of his achievements, because his tenure, we have also really we have seen the police force growing, and we have seen it also developing in terms of infrastructure. Those are things that you cannot exclude if you have to really also make an assessment of the IGP Ochola reign. So really you realize that he has also done his part, and really just like other people, the best dancer, usually they say the best dancer at one time also really has to leave the office, and that is one thing that we are yet following up on, and we are seeing that he also now has to leave that is office now, and IGP Ochola will be remembered for all these things, and really that is one thing also we are seeing here. But who is coming next? That is the question now people have been asking. Remember, so many people have been really raising questions, and really many people have also been asking themselves who exactly is going to be given that office, given the fact that some people had been lobbying, and which police also really came out clearly to condemn and saying that they will not be able to tolerate tendencies of where people want to lobby and take over these positions, and that is something we are also seeing. And outgoing Inspector General of Police Martins Ochola has handed over office to his deputy, that is Major General Geoffrey Tumusime Katsigazi, and really this revelation was made on Monday by Police Spokesperson Fred Enanga at a press conference in Kampala. And IGP Ochola became the head of police, that is in 2018, replacing General Kale Kaihura. Really, I must say, this reign also really me, I really feel that he has done his best, and really he has achieved, he has served the nation, and it's time for now somebody else to also really pick up that mantle. And really the person who is coming next has a lot to do when it comes to me in issues of these illegal guns that still continue to circulate within the society. I really believe if the next person comes in and addresses these issues, we may also really see maybe the numbers of maybe the cases of where people are using the guns illegally for their actions also really, which have ever been having devastating impacts on the society, will be able to be avoided, because this is where I feel maybe the police has not done very much in terms of surveillance, first of all, maybe in terms of that is making sure that the guns do not continue to be used, that is illegally within the society. So I think that is an area where the Uganda Police Force to me has not done very much, and I believe if the next IGP is to come into office and also look up into these issues, and then definitely we might see that is the force improving, because if that is not the case, then definitely we are also going to be seeing maybe certain of these issues happening. So his term of office expired, that's on March 4th, amid this uncertainty regarding if he will be able to reappoint it or not, but really we have not been seen him being appointed, and we have seen him also handing over the office. That means maybe somebody else is coming over to take over the mantle, which he has been able to really, to me, hold. That is very, very well, because he held the position very well for all these years, right from 2018. Really, you realize that at least he has transitioned, that is the police force. He didn't leave it stagnated right from the time he picked it right from his predecessor, that is General Kale Kaihura. Really, I must say, this is something also really we are seeing. So many other, remember, so many other IGPs were in place, and most of them actually did their part, and really we are now looking forward to the next one, and what strategies is he going to bring on board, maybe what new techniques or tactics is he or she going to bring on board. And remember also, we have seen most of the IGPs I've known have been males. Maybe is it time for us to have a female IGP? That is definitely something I do not know. And remember, it being a Women's Month, we shall be able to really also follow this to the last drop. And that is something that really brings us to our first break. And remember, in case you have anything that you feel you need to put forward, you can use our various social media platforms, and we shall be able to read them clearly. And remember, this is the Kokoliriko live show, the Wednesday edition with me, FARISH Majid, and the week is really running so fast. We're already in the middle of the week. That means that you need to start making reflections towards the achievements or some of the things that you wanted to do at the beginning of the week. Have you done any of them? That is definitely the question that you should be asking yourself. But really, allow me running for a short commercial break, and when we return back, we still have more to discuss with you as we look forward to having, that is the PR of WESTNILE Police, that is none other than Josephine Angucia, to also really come and share with her experience that is being in the force. For now, it's a short commercial break. Thank you.
WESTNILE TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023, live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
WESTNILE TV, lighting up the region. WESTNILE TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
What a lovely morning to you who has kept it right from the time we began until this hour of the morning. I must say it's a great pleasure having you on board as we are already running out of time. As I did inform you earlier on that we shall be having, that is the police public relations officer for West Nile sub-region also in the studios. And remember, this week entirely we have dedicated it to women, and we want to have an experience of them really serving the nation, and this could be in the various sectors. And now we started right from education, where we did have, that is one of the deputy head teachers who is a female, to also really share her experience with us, and really we hope we did have a wonderful time. We also really had one in worship, that was yesterday, and today we are having one in the police force, which is actually one of the very, very instrumental, that is bodies that is in the country, because surely without security, then definitely we may have a country that is full of ruthlessness, and once we have a country that is of lawlessness, and then definitely that society is one that will witness a lot of challenges. And I must say, one of the top leaders actually in serving this country under the Uganda Police Force in West Nile sub-region is actually one department that is headed by a female, and this is one reason also really we very, very much appreciate her whenever we see her. And today we do have her in a special way, that is Madam SSP Josephine Angucia. If she can really also maybe say hi to the viewer, and then she will also really maybe share with us her experience of what motivated her into becoming a policewoman that she is today now, and how does it feel being maybe serving this nation in that capacity that she holds today, and then maybe does she look at herself maybe progressing to the next level. That is all going to be unfolding on the show, but for now allow me welcome her in a special way to say a very, very good morning to you, the viewer. You're most welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning, viewers. I am Senior Superintendent of Police, Angucia Josephine, Police Public Relations Officer and spokesperson for West Nile Region.
Yes, Madam Angucia, maybe first share with us your experience in the Uganda Police Force. And when did you join, and what motivated you basically to join the Uganda Police Force that you're serving today?
Yeah, first of all, my experience in Uganda Police Force is quite wonderful. I've really enjoyed my work with police, and I joined Uganda Police Force in the year 2007. I joined at a level of a cadet, assistant superintendents of police. That was when the Ministry of Internal Affairs advertised for graduates to join Uganda Police Force as middle managers. So that time I was already a graduate. So accordingly I applied, and thereafter we are subjected to interviews, written, aptitudes, orals, which I passed. And afterwards we went for training for 1.5 years in the Masindi Police Training School, that's now Kabalie. And after finishing the training, we were accordingly deployed to various stations and for various duties. Of course, I went through a number of departments, duties, till when I reached the current level, where I am now the regional police spokesperson and public relations officer for West Nile region. So how I moved through, immediately after our training, I was deployed to department. My initial deployment was actually in department of MPPU, which is now Field Force Unit. MPPU was formerly called as Mobile Police Patrol Unit. And because that time I was very active, I was very operational, I think my supervisors, my trainers saw that it was fit for me to work in that directorate, that unit. It's now a directorate. So from there I worked for a number of times. I was a platoon commander. I was heading detachments here and there, but that time mostly I was in Old Kampala, within the Kampala metropolitan area. Then from there I was also made to be OC post, that is in Lugala, as I was heading the mobile police patrol detachment, which was in Lugala, which is in Old Kampala, closer to Northern Bypass. So after working for a while there, I was substantively transferred to be the OC station, Chiboga district. And I also worked there for a while. And thereafter, the district police commander, Chiboga, was transferred somewhere else. And I was made to act there for about 6 months as the district police commander, Chiboga. And then later, as police was vetting for people, especially officers who are to be regional spokespersons in various regions. One of the reasons is that, one of the yardsticks is that the officer must know the local language and possibly should hail from that particular region so that she or he can be able to do that work of spokesperson and public relations very well. So it was decided that no, much as I was in operations and I was doing well in operations, they needed somebody who knew the language of the area, one of the most dominant languages within the region, to work as a public relations officer and spokesperson for the region.
In all this journey, you realized that at least at one moment you were stepping a ladder.
Correct.
Forward. Maybe
exactly.
What is that special thing that you did such that maybe those other junior officers who are yet serving the police force, more so the girl child, maybe the women who are yet under the force there, and they're looking forward to having such promotions, maybe what did you do that made you really continue progressing in these steps such that they can also really pick a leaf from?
One thing was that I was determined, very determined to do anything. And that was right from the time of recruitments. as I was making my application, people were like, forces are not good for women. How are you going to manage? But I told them, they have not said that it's only for men. They have said even women should apply. So I want to try it. I feel I can manage it. So I had that determination. And then, of course, that was coupled with the zeal to do the training. Discipline is part of it. When you are indisciplined, for sure you cannot be able to manage forces, because it really operates around discipline. So discipline was one thing to do. And then after the training, when I was deployed, I made sure that whatever I was assigned to do, I do it to the best of my ability. And that's what has helped me up to this time. Whatever your superiors or your supervisors have assigned you to do, or whatever your office is supposed to do it to the best of your ability. And that's where you'll get your promotions. That's where you'll get your blessings. So that's one thing that really encouraged me throughout my time in the forces and up to this time. Yeah.
You realize that sometimes some people are in the forces, but they are not happy. How is your case like?
For me, I'm happy. Actually, one thing which can kill your zeal, your ability to perform, is not being happy, not being contented. Yeah, that is so dangerous. When you're not happy, you're not contented with the position you're holding, with what you are to do. Partly when you are indisciplined, they tell you to do this, and you're objecting, you want to do what you really feel you should do, then that's where it will become difficult for you. You lose morale, and you end up performing poorly. But I want to assure everyone that there is no position which is really bad, and there is no position in the force which is permanent. Anytime you can be assigned to do any duty anywhere. So it's always advisable to do whatever you're doing with all your ability. Concentrate on it, make sure you perform so that you can be elevated to another level.
Okay. Looking at maybe the women, at times some experience that we have seen with the society is that they very much tend to fear men more than the women. And in terms of really, I don't know how it is, more so when female counterparts are sent, I don't know, to make arrests. How is the reception like? Do the community also offer that respect, maybe in terms of also really abiding by what the female law enforcement officers are saying? I don't know, I want to know how the experience is like, maybe in your own opinion, how you handle all these cases. That really is something I must also really make an understanding of. Because sometimes somebody out there may want to join the police force, but they are looking at themselves, they are undermining themselves, saying, I'm a woman, I cannot do this. Is it a job that really, because we have understood that it is a job that has been very much predominantly held by men, and more so the top position, and really, as before you did come on the show, I was talking about that is the position of the IGP that now is a bit vacant, because IGP Ochola has now handed over office, and this is his deputy, meaning that very soon we may see an appointment of that is a new IGP, and really feel maybe if a female could this time round be that is appointed position, that would be really very, very good. How has the reception been like? That's from the members of the public, that is to you, the female law enforcement officers.
Of course, it is true that the society still believes that women cannot perform well in forces. They feel forces are not good for women, and when our officers are assigned offices, duties, at times they first receive some kind of resistance from the society, feeling that such a woman may not be able to perform. But as they continue interacting with such an officer, they get to realize that she is the best person to perform his or her roles. I remember when I was assigned the first duty of being OC police station in Lugala police station, which is located in Old Kampala, and that time I was also the commander of a platoon commander in one of the detachments of MPPU. And when we reported newly, people would come and look for the OC post, expecting to see a man or a mature man as OC post. But when they arrive at the post, they find a very young lady without hair, with very short hair, seated in the office. So you find them asking, where is the OC? I've come to check on the OC. When you tell them that, yes, I am the OC, can I help you? They're like, no, an OC is supposed to be a man, at least a mature man. You mean you are also an OC? I said, yes. I would tell them, yes, I'm an OC. They appointed me here as OC, and I'm able to serve you in whatever you need, especially as far as my office is concerned. So I met a lot of challenges in the beginning when I was initially deployed as OC station. People expected to see a man, more so a very mature man, but that time we were just fresh from training. We were looking a little bit younger. Some would come and complain, how can the IGP bring children, more so young girls, to come and head us as OC? This is impossible, and so on. But as I continued serving, with the time they started appreciating my service, and very many came complimenting my service personally in the office, apologizing for the initial bad reception. Some had to go and recommend me before my bosses, and that is how I was substantively elevated to be OC station for the district, that is Chiboga district. So that is how it has always been. Again, when I went to Chiboga district as OC station, the people, the locals were like, no, an OC station is supposed to be a man and has always been a mature old man. How can this young lady manage? Some LOCs could even come and sort of, they would come and intimidate me in the office, thinking that they would manage to intimidate. That, no, will you manage this area? This area needs a mature man. You as a woman, will you manage our place? I don't think, but let's wait and see. I told them I am trained to do anything. Wait and see whether I will fail to manage this district as OC station. So we worked. As we continued working, the same later on appreciated my work. They were so much grateful. There is so great difference in the way I was serving compared to my predecessor. Actually, my predecessors who were men. And that is how I went through. So it has always been a challenge where the society feels that forces are not fit for women, more so heading forces. When you are supposed to hold administrative position, it's better for men, it's not fit for women. Others feel women cannot perform. But I want to tell you, when a woman is trained to do that work, when she has positive attitude, when she is disciplined, she will manage any office, any position in command that was assumed to have been managed by men. So as I speak right now, female commanders are quite many. Female officers.
I was actually coming to that point. I don't know under whose reign you joined, because now the office is vacant. That is for the IGP, because Ochela's term of office has come to an end. I don't know under whose reign you joined, and then if you had to make a comparison of how the police was then and how the force is now, maybe that will also really be quite good for somebody out there to make an understanding and assessment of how maybe the force has progressed in over these years.
As I said earlier on, I joined in the year 2007. That was during the time of General Kale Kaihura, and we were recruited during the Chogam time. That was when Uganda had hosted the Chogam conference in the country. So we were recruited that very year. We went for training for 1.5 years. That is in Masindi Police Training School. And during that time, actually things had already improved. Things were now changing. Many more officers, especially cadet superintendent, cadet assistant superintendents of police officers were recruited and trained. We were quite many ladies, but of course men were more. And I remember when we reported for training, there were some ladies who turned up the offer simply because they were supposed to shave off their hair if they were to go for military training. There were some ladies who even reported to Chibuli Training School from where we were supposed to move for military training in Masindi. But upon being told that they were supposed to cut off their hair, they went for good. They never came back. Their places remained vacant, and thereafter they were filled in by other people who were recruited to fill in the gap later. So some ladies lost actually their positions because of that. Others had a lot of fear, and many were telling me, will you manage with this body of yours here? And of course that time I was just breastfeeding my baby. The baby was a few months old. I was breastfeeding, and people expressed a lot of worries that in my state, maybe I might fail to manage. But I told them, I'm going to appear for this training. This baby will survive, and after the training, I'll be able to work and support my children. Okay. So me, I was determined, and that is how we went through. And during our time, actually, in forces, they had started recruiting many more women. Many more women were now involved in operations. Many were deployed in various departments, which were formerly preserved for male officers. And offices like OC Post, maybe OC Station, District Police Commander, maybe the Regional Police Commander, and so on, were mainly reserved for male officers. But from our time, I remember when I joined, many more of us were deployed in those positions of management, right from the police post up to the highest level. So since then, things have been improving, and some units have been created in the force, like we have the Women Affairs Department to oversee issues pertaining women. We have the Gender Unit, which has newly been created. All these were to ensure that cases of gender disparities within the force are handled properly, and both women and men are encouraged and included to perform in the forces equally.
Okay, dear viewer, really we are yet continuing with the discussion, and I do have Senior Superintendent of Police, that is Madam Josephine Angucia. She is the Police Public Relations Officer for WESTNILE Sub-Region, and I know she is also sharing experience of the police force and how she joined. And really, as we return back from the short commercial break, because we are just a minute, that is to 8 a.m., and really that brings us to another break of the show. And I will really come back, that is from the discussion break, as she will be able to tell us maybe what motivated her into joining the force. Because at times you realize that people join this force is not because they want, others just feel maybe they need a job. Is it the same case that is with her? And definitely she will be able to thoroughly explain that to us when we return back from the short commercial break. For now, let's first have this as we return back shortly. Thank you.
WESTNILE TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Alright, welcome back from that short commercial break. This is still the Kokoliriko live show with me, FARISH Majid, and we started right from the hour of 7. And as usual, we go up to the hour of 9 a.m. And remember at 9, that's when we shall be having the news bulletin in Lubarati with Mukulia Lawrence, also to really also give you what is happening. That is in the world of news. And remember, an informed person is that one that can make informed decisions. So you need to be informed at all times. That is why we bring for you the various news bulletins, starting right from the Nilecast at 7 p.m. in English. And we also do have the Lubarati news, that is of Eolaza, starting from 9 to 10. And then the Lembangea, that's for the Ruru-speaking community, also comes through. That is at midday. And remember, these are the bulletins that you need not to miss, because this is where you're going to be an informed person. One that will make decisions that will not be questioned, and then this decision that will not also make decisions that will be queried by the members of the public. For instance, one that we did talk about, the issue of the 7.3 each million goat, that has really made so many people ask themselves questions of maybe how these goats look like. So I think that is also really something that really will help you in case you have to make certain decisions. That is one reason you need to be updated, and that is why the morning updates comes your ways every Mondays to Fridays. And remember, this week we are dedicating it entirely to women. We want to have their experience of maybe how they are doing their jobs, because we have come to understand that really we have so many women who are doing a lot of good things out there, and we have to recognize them and really also to come and share with us their experiences. And today I do have, that is Senior Superintendent of Police, that is Madam Josephine Angucia, sharing her experience of being in the police force for all these years, right from 2007 up to date. And she has really shared a lot. And before we did go for the break, I did ask a question, that is what motivated her into joining the force. Because at times realize that people join these forces not because they want, but rather they are job seekers or they are forced by other people, because we have scenarios where some people are forced either by relatives or friends or peer pressure. They join the force not for the right reasons, and that is one reason. Also, we are seeing sometimes them misbehaving, such as in the issues of Kitu Kidogo. And she will be able to really maybe share with us her experience of what motivated her into joining the force. You're most welcome back in the short commercial break. Thank you.
Thank you. It's true, various reasons motivate people to join forces or join their professions. And I want to say something about my initial profession. I graduated with bachelor's in arts with education from Makerere University, and after graduation I got a job in Luzira Senior Secondary School in Kampala, where I was teaching economics with history. And as I was teaching, that time there was a ban on recruitment of teachers by the government. So in that process, actually, somehow I was disappointed, because I felt I was not really earning what I should have earned. And to be sincere, to be honest, that time I was actually looking for a job. I wanted a government job. So that was when a friend came with an advert from Ministry of Internal Affairs and told me to try. She so much encouraged me, because she went through and she was handling a serious position within the system somewhere. So she told me to join the forces, and where I will be recruited and trained as a middle manager, and there I will be able to work in administrative level, at administrative level, not at a junior level, because the level in which I would have been recruited will be at least higher, that is graduate level. So initially, as I was looking for a job, that partly encouraged me. I was like, no, if it's like that, let me apply to join the force, and let me do everything wholeheartedly, so that I shall be able to achieve what I've been looking for. So I was motivated by this friend to apply. After applying, I went through the interviews, and when I was called in for the training, I went wholeheartedly. There are people who are actually forced, others move when they are not willing, Others, it is their family members or the relatives who simply put them in there. They are not interested. But for me, I really looked for it. Much as I was looking for a job, I really felt this is where I can be able to perform. But initially, I felt some pain because, you know, at the university, I did economics majors, econ majors. I majored in economics. I loved the subject so much. And it is one subject in which throughout I've been performing so well. I even said to my friend, what will I do to my economics? I really love economics. What will I do with it now that I'm going to the forces? Then these friends were like, no, where we have reached, you are not supposed to only rely on what you trained on. The world is dynamic. You have to adjust. You can even still apply the knowledge of economics in the force.
That brings me back. Do you have any regrets to maybe that transitioning from economics into the force, where you have also been elevated to up the level of public relations officer, which is one of the critical entities that is in the police force? Do you have any regrets, or maybe about all these transitions, or you are very much excited maybe this could be a calling of God?
No regret at all. I very much feel it was a calling by God. Actually, as I was with this friend, I used to be prayerful. I had a pastor. I went for advice from this pastor. The pastor told me that I've seen this is a call for you. I've seen this is where you're supposed to serve. This is where God said you must serve. So please take up this seriously. Do the interviews seriously with all the might. When you're through, do the training and be obedient, be disciplined. You will go through. God will see you through up to the highest level through forces. So the pastor actually now further convinced me together with friends. I became so confident. So by the time I applied, by the time I went in for interviews, I did everything wholeheartedly. That's why I was able to excel through the interviews and went for the training. And I was able to also go through the training without hurdles. I had no problem because personally I was disciplined. Then mentally I was prepared for everything. So I went through the forces, through the trainings because of that. And thereafter, when I was deployed, when I started, of course, when you look at that department where I was deployed, the mobile police patrol unit, that department, that unit used to be for men. It was formerly called the mobile patrol unit, mobile police. People were locally calling it mobile police, but now it is field force unit. So initially they said, it is men who can manage mobile, not women.
Coming that, you know, the issue of fear among the members of the public has always been there. First of all, when you look at the trainings, usually people say the trainings are very difficult, women may not be able to handle them. Really, how was the training like, and how is it done today? That is one thing I also want to make an understanding of, because you realize that so many things have been said about the training, and which to me is also putting off so many people, maybe those who have the fears of wanting to serve the nation, but they are really talking about the training that is being given to these forces here, such that these are manifested through these canings, that when these people are caning us on the streets, that saying has always been there. They are revenging because maybe they also were caned during the trainings. Is that true?
The trainings are actually not bad for a person who has a positive attitude. It's all about your attitude. But when you report there with a lot of pride, with a lot of feelings that you're not supposed to do this, you're not supposed to do that, that's when you find it difficult. But when you report there with positive attitude, ready to do anything, honestly, nothing will break you down. And when people report newly, of course, the first thing will be to remove off this pride in you, this feeling that, me, I'm like a graduate, I read books, reference books, what? I'm not supposed to do this, I cannot do that. Initially, people go with a lot of similar feelings. So when you go with those kind of feelings, you'll meet challenges at the beginning, because you will feel they're actually punishing you. When they tell you to do this, they are punishing you, and yet every bit of the training has a purpose, because the purpose will be seen in future when you are deployed to do the job. So every bit of training has got a purpose, but sometimes we, the people who have read reference books, when we report for training, we really feel that we are not supposed to do certain things because we are really we are highly educated. You cannot really roll. You cannot do this. I read books. How can I come and do this? So when you have a lot of pride in you, a lot of pride in your education, when you have negative attitude, really it will be bad. But when you report with the positive attitude, ready to finish the training so that you will be able to serve in that capacity, you will never have any problem. So I really want to encourage ladies out there that don't fear training. If there's any advert for you to join police, maybe as a police constable, probational police constable, or as a cadet assistant superintendent of police, or learner AIPs, please take up that opportunity. Apply, and when you are through with interviews, go for the training. And when you're done with the training, go and do the job, and do it seriously with all the discipline. You will grow. God will progress you with your discipline, with your level of professionalism. You will see yourself grow, and wonders, you will see wonders within the force, which is a profession believed to be mainly for men. Women are doing great in the profession, and with this affirmative action by the government, many ladies are benefiting in that, and in some positions, sometimes a deliberate move is taken to ensure that a lady is given consideration. As you said earlier on, now that the post for IGP is vacant, you never know. A woman can easily be appointed to be an IGP. When a woman now becomes an IGP, this will encourage, it will inspire so many out there. So as the theme for Women's Day says, inspire inclusion. We have to include women in all these systems. We have to include women in various places in order to inspire the society, in order to lead to the development of the society. Okay.
That is it. She is saying the trainings are manageable. Really, it means that those who did apply, you need not to now have the fears as we look forward to also really seeing you report. That is for the training, for those who will be able to go through. Really, from what she has said, the training is manageable. You can do it, and really, so you have to go out and really go for this training and do it. And you never know, you may come out that person you want to be. So this is my humble appeal to you. Let's go and turn out for the trainings. You will be able to solve it. But that does not mean that those who will be able to come up with the training, you should come and cane the public, because the public has always been raising that complaint that the police officers overcame them as a form of revenge. So I think that is something we will not be able to expect from you. And really, within the 16 years, still, maybe what was the highest, maybe the highs and lows, maybe the best moment, and also the worst moment when you joined the police force, in your experience in these years that you have been serving the nation in? What is that best moment and the worst moment of your life when you joined the force?
One of the best moments was when I was promoted. Actually, you know, promotion comes with a lot of excitement. And more so when I was promoted to this current rank, that is Senior Superintendent of Police, I was so much excited. And this promotion came after having served for quite many years. That is over 10 years serving as Superintendent of Police. So when it came, I was so much excited, and it's one of my best moments. And then one of my worst moments is actually in the course of the duties, where when I was the OC station and now acting DPC, I was in an area where there were a lot of issues, there were a lot of fights, Actually, that particular moment when I was acting DPC, we were invaded or attacked by some robbers. There was robbery in one of the nearby towns, and as a female officer, of course, we were on tours. We were supposed to do patrols both day and night. And as we were moving for patrols, we were moving for community policing in daytime, these robbers would write letters. They wrote letters warning, intimidating that we are coming for you. We even know where you stay. We even know where you...
I think this must have also come with its own fears.
Yes, I really developed some fear. We are coming for you. You are following us, but we are coming for you. Anytime we shall get you and kill you. And you know, these robbers were armed. Indeed, they killed some people in the nearby centers, and they write letters that we are coming for so and so. And accordingly, they would come for this person and kill. So when we intensified operations so as to get them down, so as to arrest them, following them up through intelligence, led operations, and then of course through community policing, we were engaging the locals to speak, and they were actually mentioning names. And we started arresting some of the allies to these robbers, till when we netted them. And we were able to net them ready-handed. We were able to recover the exhibit of guns, and then later on they were produced in court. Finally, they actually confessed. They had to confess, and they were imprisoned. They were imprisoned. So those moments were not easy. I was like, now as a woman, a young lady, I am here in command. But the good thing is, I worked so well with my colleagues, my juniors. My juniors were so supportive. When it came to making plans on that, they were really supportive. But of course, during that moment when the robbers were scaring back, when they were writing letters, we are coming for you, we are coming for the officers, the junior officers feared. They didn't want to be deployed to do patrols in those areas, especially that particular trading center. They would fear. They would tell me, Madam, we are fearing to go there. What? I'm like, you are trained. You have all the skills. You have the tools, the weapon. What is making you to fear? You are even more trained than those robbers. So I would guide them, encourage them, and then deploy. On top of deploying them, we would move at night following them. We would move with them,
you know, this
together
issue
for patrols.
about the criminal gangs has always been there, and we have seen it manifesting up to date.
Yes.
And then maybe what new strategies could Uganda Police Force develop to avoid these issues that we're talking about? For instance, the use of the illegal guns we have seen continuing to go on and on, despite all the several security interventions, not only by Uganda Police Force, but even the sister agencies, for instance, the UPDF and the prisons. We have seen them often coming to work together and address certain of these things, but the tendencies continue to go on. Maybe what new strategies could maybe the forces in general develop to avoid these cases of illegal guns that can circulate among the members of society?
With these illegal guns or gangs which are being created, one thing that the forces can succeed in is developing a strong intelligence network up to the ground, where the community should be able to share information freely with the forces. Otherwise, without information, without intelligence-led kind of activities, it will become hard for commanders to get the actual suspects and to recover these illegal weapons. We need intelligence right up to the ground, up to the grassroots. We also need a community that is open, that does not fear the forces, that is responsible, that is ready to share information on what they see unusual in their areas. This is because the armed men stay within their communities. They keep the weapons within their communities. Sometimes they are seen moving at night with these weapons within the communities. Neighbors even see them. They normally talk about them, but they don't want to be the ones to report to the forces. They are like, hey, if we report, the person will know that we are the ones. Some just feel that no, it's not since it has not yet come to them, since these people have not yet attacked them, they should ignore. So that's where we shall have challenges. So we need the public to be free with the police, open up, share information timely when you see them there, or when you see queer behaviors being done or being exhibited in your neighborhood. People having night movements with the weapons, people having night meetings, people doing things contrary to the normal ways of life. You have to report to the nearest police station. You share this as intelligence information so that the officers attached to intelligence will move down there and design methods of getting to know more about these people. So after them getting to know more about them, they can now inform the commanders. And the commanders will plan for what is called intelligence-led operations. The commanders will now come in to arrest, to pick the exhibits when they already have prior information that so is the one who is holding guns. They normally move out at night, maybe at 11. That's when they start moving, and they normally hide in these corridors, and then from there they go to these places. So when commanders have that information from the intelligence team, it will become easier to pick them and to recover the exhibit of weapons, and then to handle them according to the law. So the most important thing is sharing of information freely with the forces, and then having intelligence network, strong intelligence network up to the grassroots.
Talking about the issue of these gangs, recently we did witness the scenario happening in the central region, the area where we did see this issue of the criminal gangs becoming out of hand. In Central Division, I must say, it was actually the talk of the week for some period of time when these issues were going on, where we did witness the gangs attacking each other, and really this has gone down. Maybe as Uganda Police Force, what did you do to see that this issue is put off? Because right now the issue has gone silent, and that means that this issue is no longer a threat now to the security maybe of the country, of the area, because Central Division is actually where these criminal gangs were operating from. And we do understand that these were actually terrorizing the society. It was posing a risk threat, that is the security of the people of the area. And then maybe what did you do as Uganda Police Force, maybe also with your sister agencies, to see to it that this issue is eliminated out of the area?
Yeah, as I said earlier on, we have been doing a lot of intelligence-led operations. This time we don't just go and round the people without information.
And then maybe what happened? Where are the boys now? If I may be able to
They're
ask.
in prison. They were rounded, screened, and then taken to prison. But the process of screening is normally done with the help of the local leaders. And as we are screening them, we also cross-check to see if they have ever participated in crimes previously. Because we have there's a black book for criminals. If you have ever participated in such a crime, your name will remain on record. So when you are netted or arrested again, they will cross-check and find out whether you are on the list. So if you're on that list, of course, that will even make now the charge stronger on you. And that can enable such a criminal to be taken to court easily with the evidence, and then to be prosecuted accordingly. So as police, we are really encouraging people to share information freely with our officers. And of course, you cannot just go and share information with anyone whom you find in khaki uniform. There are some officers who are there, like, they may not be able to hide secrets. People have often complained that whenever they share information with the police, they come and reveal their identities and so on. That's why they are fearing to share. Please make sure you go to a responsible office. You go to a responsible office, and an office that will be able to keep that information which you've shared secret as a secret, and will be able to hold it with a lot of confidentiality. Your details will not be mentioned out, and then they will plan for the operations quietly without your name being mentioned out.
Okay.
So make sure you report to a responsible office.
Okay.
You can report to OC operations, you can report to OC station, you can even go to DPC. Anybody is free to go to office of DPC. That is a public office. Some people fear that, how can I go to DPC? Where will I begin from? That is your office. It's a public office. Feel free and report there with anything that you've heard. Okay. Even if it's true, even if it's false, you will not be penalized for it. Instead, they will go and investigate to establish facts and then act accordingly. Okay. You can even move to office of PRO, since PRO is a person of the region, speaks the language within the region. If you're within the area, within the vicinity, report to that office, or you call. Okay. You can also call the regional police commander. Okay. He's ready to address and listen to anything, and will handle your matter with a lot of confidentiality. Okay,
all right. Maybe thank you so much, and if you can be able to put your final words, as we are just remaining with a few minutes to wind up with the discussion, and I really hope the viewer out there, you must have had the experience, and you must be also picking a lesson from it. One, it is persistence. Secondly, love what you do. That is one thing I've been able to pick. That is SSP Josephine Angucia. That is in her experience, that is in serving the police force. And you, who is that officer down there, that definitely calls for patience. Your time will surely come at the right time. That's when you will be able to slowly get that promotions, maybe to the level that you want to become. And that is one thing I must also say I've been able to pick up. That's from her, and really, if she can be able to now summarize her words, maybe her final words in the few minutes, as we head into a short commercial break, as we also bounce back with the rest of the topics now to finalize the show with. Thank you.
Yes, I just wanted to say a brief one. Really, we need to be persistent, resilient, and disciplined as we serve. At times, we get to some points where you start wondering, why is it that I've remained in the same rank for so many years? Please, you don't have to despair. Even if the promotion has not come, continue to do your work. Continue to do it diligently. It will surely come. Like me, I stayed in the same rank for over 10 years. The people we trained with, very many were promoted, but I remained serving. At one moment, I never broke down. I remained serving. That was when finally my time came and I was promoted last year. So continue to do your work. Continue to have this inbuilt zeal to perform, and make sure you do it diligently. Time will come when you will be promoted. Of course, when you are diligent at service, other benefits will come automatically. In case of anything, when they are looking for someone to take up a post or a position or an activity, they will say, so and so is good, he's disciplined, he's professional. Let's appoint so and so to do this. So those favors are there. They don't come for nothing. They come with hard work and professionalism. And then to women out there, please, there's nothing that you may fail to do or that you cannot do. Just like your counterparts, your male counterparts. What a man does, a woman can do. And let's continue to be determined. Let's continue to perform whatever we do. And whatever we do will speak for ourselves. Any position they give to you, make sure you do it diligently, you perform well, and that work which you perform or which you do will speak for you and will make you get elevation. So let's not say that for us we are women, we shall not manage, they will not see us, and so on. Then to managers, to various authorities, please include women. Women can do whatever men do. As the theme for this year's Women's Day celebrations says, inspire inclusion. Include them, include the women, the girl child, in everything. Give them the opportunity to perform, encourage them so that they can be able to also perform just like their male counterparts. We have so many ladies with the potentials, they are really talented, but sometimes because they are not given the chance, they are not included, they are left out. And the nation loses out because they will not be able to serve the nation with those special talents that they have. So let us include them, give them the chance to perform and develop the nation together with the rest of the world.
All right, thank you so much for really coming through and share your experience with the rest of the viewers out there. And really, I also do very, very much appreciate you, the viewer, for watching the conversion drive from the time we began until this hour of the morning. But now it brings us to another short commercial break, and when we return back, we shall be able to summarize the discussion with some of the national topics that are happening currently. My name is FARISH Majid. Please stay tuned.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Right, welcome back right from the city, that is plot 19A, Weatherhead Park Lane, Arua City, where you are watching us live from. I must say it's a great pleasure having you on board, but where you're watching us from is something also you can be able to let us know where exactly you're catching us from. This is the Kokoliriko morning updates with me, FARISH Majid, each and every Mondays to Fridays, right from the hour of 7 a.m. up to 9 a.m. And in the first hour, we did discuss a lot of issues, ranging from the GOAT issue. We also did talk about that is another issue, and we did summarize the discussions before we did go for the break with that is Josephine Angucia, as she shared her experience that is being in the police force right from 2007 up to date, where she is serving the nation. And I hope you did have a wonderful time. And now we still have lots more that is in the saga that is surrounding the national unity platform. And FDC has now come out to say something about the same, and FDC has actually commented on the same. And this is, to some people, it may be quite ironic because the party itself also has some wrangles, where we are seeing now two factions being formed, that is the Najana Nkumbi and also the Katonga, where so many people have also been raising questions. And actually with the recent spate of conflicts that is between the national platform party, where so many people are now raising doubts that is in the opposition party groups of this country. And now the Forum for Democratic Change Party has criticized the National Unity Platform Party for not learning from FDC's recent fallout over claims of dirty money. And remember, these have actually also been going on where people have been pinning each other for taking money here and there. And now we're also seeing the same conflict that is also turning out to the National Unity Platform. And where do these conflicts put the opposition groups at? This is something definitely I do not know, but you as the viewer, you could also really be judging, or in terms of making maybe your assessment, in terms of also really gaining confidence or losing trust in these parties here. But I believe these conflicts definitely will have a repercussion, be it good or bad, on these political groups. So I think that is something also we are seeing on the papers here. And Mr. John Chikonyogo, the Forum for Democratic Change Party spokesperson, has said spilling internal party members in the open makes the public not only lose trust in the party, but also tears apart the party as after what was really seen, that is in the Forum for Democratic Change Party happened, and this could also really be happening, and that is through the National Platform. So on February 28th, 9th, sorry, of this year, National Platform Party, the leading opposition party group, tasked the immediate former leader of opposition, that is Matthias Impuga, now parliamentary commissioner, to really resign over claims that he benefited from a questionable shillings 500 million services award. So I think this is something that the party did not really go on very well in terms of that is handling the matter, which to me I believe if the party members, more so the party president, whom at this time we are seeing also really giving over office for some few days to his deputy, that is one known as Zedriga. Also, I will be able to let you know of what is happening in line to that. So I think all these conflicts will not be able to really be good. That is to these opposition groups, in my own opinion. I don't know what you think as a viewer, but I must say these conflicts definitely, if they continue to go on, and then definitely we are going to be seeing doubt that is among the members and the believers, because these opposition groups at times have people who believe in them, and that is why they always want to associate with them, because to associate with yourself with any political group, it is your constitutional mandate. Nobody has the right to force you, maybe in terms of where you belong to. So I think it is a constitutional mandate where you can be affiliated to any political group that you want or you feel you want it to be part of. So I think all this will be able to cost those that particularly believed in the ideologies of the particular opposition group. So I think all this, if not addressed well, in my own opinion, will be able to continue to, that is, face and haunt these political groups. So I think, in my own opinion, these people needed to sit down and resolve these disputes internally, that before really also them coming out, that's the public domain. Because if as these conflicts continue to, that is, resurface on that is the public scene, definitely we are going to be seeing people who are tired, that is, losing out trust in these opposition groups. So I think if these parties, we are to really address these issues, then we will be seeing the unity that is also really among the voters, and the voters coming together, because all this at the end of the day will be able to have a repercussion on the believers and those who believe in the gospel of this party group. So I think all these issues we are yet following them up on, and Mr. Chikonyogo, who spoke at the weekly FDC media briefing at the party headquarters in Kampala yesterday, said they have started with claims of over shillings 300 million. Now they are taking over shillings 500 million, and they claims a lot of money that came to really these opposition groups, more so the Najana Kumi group. Where will all these conflicts put, that is, the opposition group? So I think this is something also we do not know. And now the conflicts that is between that is the National Platform members has continued, and yesterday we did see actually that a letter dated, that is 5th, that is the 3rd of March, that is to Dr. Lina Zedriga, Deputy President, that is for Northern Region, who has actually been handed over the role of acting president. In a letter we did see circulating on social media, and with Article 7, subsection 1 of the party constitution, the party president did appoint, that is Zedriga, who is the deputy party president for Northern Region, also really to take over this position. So I think all this have a repercussion if not well addressed, and really these are going to cost the party, and these are instrumental, and the fight between this have been traced, that is right from the time the reshuffles were held, and so many people were actually asking themselves why Matthias Impuga was dropped as leader of opposition, and the position given to, that is, Joel Senyoni, who is the Nakawa member of parliament. So I think all these have all been there, and now all these are actually raising questions are now among the members of the public. So all this, where will they put the party at? definitely these are also going to be seeing the parties being weakened, because issues of money, once they continue to really appear on the members of the public, because more so those who have their ideologies, I must say this, are those who believe in the ideologies of these opposition groups are the vulnerables, and the vulnerable people who want to see change, who want to really see to either they attain the change that they want. And once these issues of monies come, because these are the poor, and once these issues of money and then these claims of the leaders taking money is here and there's that coming, definitely we shall be able to see them also losing trust that is in these political leaders. So I think that is something we are following up on, and really we do not know where this will put the party or most of the opposition groups at. Ahead of that is the 2026 general elections, because we are seeing the strongest and then the second strongest also having conflicts within themselves. And really, I don't know where this will be able to really also put the party at, but I think this will be able to play to the advantage of certain groups, and really those who will be able to really play their cards well. I feel this may be to their advantage. So I think that is something we are also seeing here on the papers, and we shall be able to really keep you on more developments on this story, because I believe this is something that is yet continuing. I don't know how far it will be able to go, but trust me, I'll be able to inform you in line to that. So I think you as the viewer also, you may share your ideas, your opinions on what maybe could be done to these opposition groups, such that they can maybe reorganize and restructure themselves ahead of 2026, because 2026 is not very far. We start seeing active politics happening right now, though the official declaration has not yet been made by the EC, which is the body mandated to oversee the affairs of elections in this country. The guidelines have not yet been issued, but it's clear. We have seen maybe the leaders are within their societies. We have seen people campaigning in open, and though that is against the guidelines of the EC. So I think this is also something that could be able to really also play the advantage of these opposition groups if they well address them. That definitely would, to me, also really be quite important there. And now moving away from that, RDC suspended for canning civilian. This is something also we are seeing here. The Office of the President, which supervises as the presidential appointees, says Abdallah Chisige, a petition accuses Luka Deputy Resident District Commissioner Paul Bweni of assaulting him really also unprovoked. So I think this is something also we are seeing here as people who hold these offices. How do you guide your emotions, and then how do you act? Because at times we see people acting that is very errantly, but what is done to them? Definitely that is something that we have been asking. So somebody is really being investigated here. Somebody has been put off and suspended just over certain issues which could have been controlled. So my humble appeal to everybody out there who could be holding a position, not even government position, it could be private position, really we must act diligently, because really also our actions may be also raising questions and fears amongst our members of the public, and really that is what we want to summarize the discussion with. In a special way, I want to thank whoever watched us right from the time it began until this hour of the morning. I want to say thank you so much. Let's catch up again till tomorrow for the Thursday edition of the same show. Really, starting off from the right time, that is of 7 a.m. up to 9 a.m. And really, we shall be able to really let you know of what is happening in the world of current affairs. And remember, also tomorrow, we look forward to having another female guest. And up next will be the news bulletin in Lubarati, as you can see clearly reflected on your screens there. For now, I step out, leaving that is room for the AOLA's news team to come through. Thank you so much.